Here's a cool example of using blend modes to enhance an image and create this sort of spotlight effect. So first you need to find an image of like this spotlight style or texture like this. You can find these online, search for light leaks or spotlights, or lens flare, that kind of thing. I've added one to the photos folder for project 6. So go ahead and bring this into the project 6 project. And I put it on top of the woman jumping layer. So say we want to create sort of effect where this spotlight is shining on her. Well, we can go through our blend modes with this selected, and you can kind of start to see what might happen. First though, let me change the size of this. So I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it the full size of the frame so that it's covering everything and really shining on her. But then I'm also going to squeeze it. Now to squeeze this image, if I take this right handle and bring it in, it's going to decrease the size of everything. So I have to hold the shift button down and squeeze this in like this, making that spotlight a little bit more narrow. And even if we make it a little bit taller like this and move it up, that's kind of cool like that. So now we can play with our blend modes and see like the different effects that this will have. You can either do like a shining light like this with one of the lighten blend modes, or with one of the contrast ones. Should look pretty cool, like overlay or hard light, vivid light, linear light. I actually really like that linear light. And maybe you want this to be an angle. Maybe you want it to look like she's kind of like jumping out of this spotlight, like something like that. She's jumping up. Or maybe it's shining this way. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So I kind of like that, and maybe make it a little bit wider. Like so that she is completely covered. And this also helps because the very edges of the frame are covered by this image as well. If those edges aren't covered, then you can add sort of like a black shape on the edges to cover them. Let me just fix the rotation. Something like that's pretty cool. All right, I could keep tweaking this, but the thing I actually want to show you is you can actually now make some adjustments to the color of this layer, and it will change how not only the blend mode looks, but also the overall image. And so to make an adjustment, we know we can go to the adjustment layer button down here. And for this one, I'm going to choose hue saturation, and I want it to be more of a warmer yellow light. So I'm going to take my hue, drag it to the left, something like so. That's looking pretty good. And then saturation, maybe just go down a little bit on the saturation so it's not as colorful. Now this hue saturation effect is being applied to everything below the layer, right? That's what we've learned before. So both the spotlight, if we turn this off, it's also adjusting the hue of this woman jumping. But I don't want it to affect this layer of the woman jumping. I just want it to apply to the layer beneath it. There's an option for that. So with this hue adjustment layer selected, you have this option at the bottom of the properties panel to create a clipping mask, basically. So this basically means that this adjustment will only be applied to the spotlight layer. So if I click that, you can see that now it's not affecting anything except for the spotlight. And that makes the colors a little bit more natural. And I think for this image, it looks better. There's a quicker way to automatically make sure that your adjustment layer only applies to the layer beneath it. I don't know if it's much quicker, but instead of going to the adjustment button down here and going that route, you can just go up to layer, new adjustment layer, and then if you choose one of these, say hue saturation, just make sure that this is checked on, use previous layer to create clipping mask, and that's automatically going to basically do the same thing. And you see here this little arrow on the left-hand side of this layer, that means that has a clipping mask and it's only going to be applied to what's beneath it. Now, after looking at this, I kind of think like I want to rotate it back this way, just coming straight down from the heavens above. It's pretty cool. So just another case study of how I would personally use blend modes to create a really cool graphic sort of spotlight look. And you can do kind of the similar thing with other light leaks or camera flares like I mentioned. I think this color dodge, that was another one that was cool. And the last thing I'll mention too is if it's coming on a little strong, you can always drop the opacity of this layer itself. So of the spotlight layer, and that helps a little bit too. Okay? Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in another lesson.